So understand how powerful your words are, and by replacing your words, what they can do for you. Now, as a little side note before I go, think about the other implications in your life. Think about when you come home, your kids are running around, they're driving you nuts. Notice what I just said? They're driving me nuts. What does that make me feel like? They're driving me nuts. I'm going insane. How am I going to handle this? All those words just did what to me? Made me feel overwhelmed. Made me feel like I just need to do something. I need to grab these kids and throw them against the wall. And then after I calm down, I go, wow, why did I do that? Why did I do that? It's because the words I used. It's because the words I used. It's because the associations, the words that I use to describe something I'm seeing or sensing, my brain sees as reality. That's the key. The words that I use, my brain sees that as reality. So if I say, these kids are driving me nuts, my brain thinks that these kids are driving me nuts. If I come home, the kids are doing the exact same thing that drove me nuts yesterday, and decide, these kids are just being awfully rambunctious today. I wonder what, they must have had too much sugar. Suddenly my brain doesn't have that anger anymore. I don't feel the sensation to grab these kids and do something that I'm going to regret later. The same thing with the most important relationship in your life, your spouse, your significant other. How many times have you said to yourself, he just doesn't understand me. He just doesn't. He's so lazy. Or negative words that make you feel a certain way towards your spouse, and then you do certain things to your spouse that later you wish you hadn't have done, or things you wish you hadn't have said that caused your relationship to go backwards. The power of your words seems too simple, but it's incredibly powerful. If you want the benefits of using new words, here's your assignment for this week. Find a word, catch a word that you use habitually, a self-defeating word, a negative word, a word that makes you feel angry, makes you feel overwhelmed, or makes you feel defeated, or makes you feel inferior. A word that you use, maybe that's mediocre, like, hey Dave, how's it going? Oh, hanging in there. And choose for 1 week to replace that with a new word. For example, maybe you are a busy person, you have all these things going on. If you're female, you're guaranteed, if you're working and you have kids and you have a home, you're guaranteed to feel this way. Overwhelmed. You come home, you say, oh, I feel so overwhelmed. I feel so overtaxed. I just can't get everything done. Replace that with, I feel challenged. I feel challenged. Challenged for what? Challenged to be a good mother. Challenged to be the mother that I want to be. Challenged to be all that I can be in the eye of my Creator. I feel challenged. To me, I kind of want to be challenged, you know. Life is great when you have some good challenges in there that you overcome and you rise to the occasion. Rather than being overwhelmed and I'm done, I shut down. Using the word challenged versus overwhelmed is one example. So your assignment this week is to find one habitual word that you use. And there's one that a friend of mine uses, the word is hate. My goodness, I hate this, I hate that, I hate the phone calls, he uses this word so often that he hates everything. It's like, when you use the word hate, no wonder the guy's in a bad mood half the time. And every time you talk to him, he explodes. If we just change that word to, this is a challenge, or this is something I prefer different, I don't like this, or just something with less emotional fire to that word, it would change his outlook and his attitude tremendously. So the next event that happens, he's not so affected by it. And he doesn't put that word hate on that as well, because he doesn't like that certain circumstance or happening in his life. So that's your assignment. Find one habitual word that you use consistently and make the effort, not just once or twice, this entire week. And you're going to flub up, you're going to catch yourself up, and back up and say it to yourself, the new word, and use that new word when you see people. Hey, how's it going? Fantastic. Not getting by. Or verbalize that feeling, that new word to others as well. So if someone asks me, hey, what's going on? Oh man, I said, I'm starving right now. You want to get something to eat? I'm going to say, hey, I feel fat dying right now. They're going to wonder, what am I talking about? And I'll explain to them my theory on words and stuff. But I'm going to use that. And I'm not going to be afraid to use that new word because it's helping my life. And if I can help someone else's life, I'm not going to be afraid or shy to share that with people. So that's your assignment. This is Dave Erickson. Live by choice.